Google's lost a string of lawsuits now that's changing their business model fundamentally. On top of that, we have this thing, I don't know if you've heard about it, called AI.
What?
And it's one of those things where our SEO clients are still seeing a tremendous amount of success. And I know that it's a constant conversation between you, myself, the rest of the team, the agency, about, what's changing on ad platforms, what's changing in creative output, and you are constantly trying to stay ahead of the curve, but it seems like what's happening with SEO right now is unprecedented?
Without a doubt.
Okay. So I'm not crazy.
I mean, not for that thought.
There are other things that we need to get you some help for, Dave, but not that one. What do you see as you look at the landscape of SEO? What's sticking out to you, man?
Wow. Okay. Broad question. Love it. Thank you. Let's start with my very small soapbox.
Okay.
Because A, by me saying this out loud, we're going to get some good SEO on this video. But B, I genuinely feel this. With the changes, and we'll talk about what those changes are. Right now, there is a slew of SEO experts who are trying to rename SEO.
What?
They're trying to rename it to AIO or GEO or...
I had no idea this was happening.
This is a huge topic of debate.
Really?
Right. It's SEO. We all want to have the word. We want to own the new word, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's SEO. Somebody searches. There is an engine.
Yeah.
It spits out an answer. We optimize that.
Do you call I think that you do, right? You would consider like searchable social media posts, like that's social SEO. So like, for instance, in a previous episode we've talked about your TikTok and how like you get a bunch of hits on old videos.
Yes.
Because you're ranking high in the internal SEO on TikTok for those key terms.
Yeah.
So you would call anything which makes sense to my brain, anything that's searchable is SEO.
Anything that's an input and an output from that input, that's search.
Yep. Okay.
Even if there's an AI in between.
Okay.
So if you want to be specific and call it AI SEO, if you want to call it, social SEO, location SEO, geographical, whatever it is, it's SEO. So let's just put that to bed right now.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to use any goofy terms the rest of this talk.
Fair enough. C, your soapbox couldn't be too big because you couldn't step up that high.
You son of a bitch. Am I funny like a clown?
No. Just Hobbit, but it's okay. Me too.
And we're back. Alrighty then. Okay, so what's going on in SEO? There are a multitude of things that have happened over the last 24 months. 24 months, a little bit more even, that have dramatically shifted the landscape from what SEO has been for quite some time.
Okay.
SEO's gone through a couple different variations. This new variation is so different, it's a new flavor.
Got it.
Okay. So this isn't cherry Coke anymore. We're on root beer.
Whoa, it's that big of a difference.
Yes.
Is that primarily driven by AI, or is that AI plus Google's like change? Because I know that one of the big updates that happened, my timelines are fuzzy. I think it was within the past 2 years. Was like Google started elevating Reddit as a search location for like specific keywords, and that was a big deal in and of itself. But I mean, I'm just curious, how much of that totally different, Coke to root beer flavor,
yes,
which is fundamentally changed, how much of that is AI driven percentage-wise, and how much of that is just other changes that are happening?
Love that. Let's put AI in a box for a second. Let's talk not AI.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I think that happened first. It's going to set the stage for AI in the back half of this conversation.
Got it. Okay.
So we had 3 major updates happen in the Google algorithm within the last 3 years. We had the helpful content update 1.
Mm-hmm.
We had the spam update, and then we had helpful content update 2.
Got it.
Now, Google, the way that they do their updates, they have what they call like general patches, where they're not really changing the algorithm. They're just more like bug fixes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have major updates. So the named updates is typically what we say.
Yeah.
Right? So helpful content 1, 2, and the spam update. These fundamentally changed the way Google consumes content and translates that into the value engine
Yes.
that they use to return results. And the big change was this. The focus for Google for so long was on keywords.
Got it.
All right. So I could own chocolate donut and I could own chocolate long john. Those were different keywords. And the connective tissue was there between them, but it wasn't prioritized by Google.
Right.
When they started releasing the helpful content updates, they did 2 major things. One, they shifted their model from a keyword model to a topically centric model. The more nuanced term is called a semantic model.
Okay.
But you can think of it as topics.
Okay.
Right? Donuts, cars. Those.
So essentially it's just like bigger categories? Is that kind of like the idea?
Yeah. So if I were to rank on chocolate donut, I have a advantage in also ranking on apple fritter.
Got it.
Because they fall in the same topic of breakfast pastries.
Does that mean that the idea of like long tail keywords is out?
Contrary to that,
Really?
long tail keywords are more important now than they have been historically.
Okay. Help not super savant SEO Dave understand what you're talking about.
That's fine. The goal historically was I want to rank on this keyword. I'm going to work on this keyword.
Got it.
Now the focus is I want to rank on this topic that contains these 50 keywords.
Got it.
So I need to rank across the board on these.
Interesting.
To own the topic.
Because it'd be better, using the donut analogy, if I can rank high on apple fritters, sprinkled donuts, Fruity Pebbles, donut holes, etc. The more I'm ranking on these other keywords, I'm actually elevating in the larger category of donuts. So then I'm actually like really going up the more that I invest in the long tail keywords that are really more unique to my business, perhaps.
So the reason why the long tails are important is because they're typically easier to gain your ranking position on.
Sure.
So if I wanted to rank for donut, if I wanted to rank for donut, I wouldn't start by trying to rank for donut. This is the new model.
Sure. Okay.
I would start by trying to rank for cake donut with sprinkles.
Got it.
Super long tail, super specific. That's where I start. And so the way that I kind of visualize this is it's a pyramid. And your hardest, toughest, most concise keywords that everybody wants to rank for are the tip of the pyramid. You can't build a pyramid from the top down.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Sure. Sure.
And so you have to lay all of the bricks at the edges and kind of work into the center of your topic.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Got it. So is that from the update from like 2 or 3 years ago, or is that like combining some of the big updates that have happened pre-AI?
So that's going to be the helpful content update 1 and 2.
Okay.
Those kind of drove the shift into the semantic topical engine that we're in now.
Is that the reason why the Reddit stuff kind of went up too, or is that a different piece?
The Reddit, so yes and no.
Okay.
Reddit has amazing coverage because we just talked about you want to own your topic.
Sure.
There's also a concept of topical density.
Okay.
So let's just stick with donuts.
Sure.
Who doesn't like donuts?
Everybody loves a donut.
Everyone loves donuts except for gluten-free people.
Oh, dude. Wife and youngest daughter gluten-free? They make gluten-free donuts.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I retract that statement. But let's say I rank for 150 keywords in the donut sphere.
Yeah.
Okay? Dunkin', the donut hole, if you will. I rank for 150 keywords.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts ranks for 10,000.
Sure.
They're going to win through topical density.
Got it. Okay. And so is that why Reddit's kind of winning in some of those spaces, just because they have topic density that's off the charts?
And insane long tails.
Okay.
Because somebody asks a stupid long question in Reddit.
And then they have like essentially a message board of replies that is all just adding to the SEO.
Right. That's a blog. If you want to like translate it, every Reddit post is a blog.
Interesting. Okay, so does that lend to, this is like an off the beaten path question, but I'm curious now because you just cued something up in my brain that I haven't thought about. Is there a reason, thinking through it that way, is there a reason to then turn on comments on blogs so that you get some interaction? Or like I think about news sites, they are doing comments on articles. I'm assuming that that's helping them rank higher as well.
Anytime the content of a page changes, an existing page changes, a new index comes from Google. And frequency of newly indexed versions is part of a ranking factor.
Got it. So it helps you in a positive fashion to have people commenting on articles, blogs, whatever. Especially if it's happening on a repeated basis, you keep driving traffic to an evergreen piece of content, if you will. People are going to engage with it, comment on it, whatever, and then you're going to get a higher ranking score with Google over time. Because as we say, and I love your analogy on this, you're like, hey, SEO is like investing in your 401k. You know, you're not trying to get the investment out today. You definitely don't want it 3 months from now. A year is like bare minimum, let's be real. And 3 years is where you really see like, holy crap, we are cooking with our SEO. But am I right on that? That it's basically like, dude, if you can keep having people engage with your content on a page, it's just going to keep helping you increase.
Absolutely. The advantage that Reddit has is that it is a comment and message board. So every reply, or the vast majority of, should be on topic.
Yeah.
And are also their own SEO in their own right.
Right. Got it.
So that's why Reddit, Quora, these kind of conversational topic one-hit wonders work so well in ranking.
Cool. Okay. So is that the entirety of what's happened pre-AI? Because I don't want to skip anything here.
There was also the spam update, which what they did was they kind of cleared house on a lot of content that existed to be content. So the number one offender of this, they lost 80% of their traffic was CNET.
Because it was just content that was sitting out there in the ether that didn't have any traffic going to it? Is that
No. They had no topical alignment. They weren't niched enough. So you go to CNET and you could see an article on top 5 headphones of 2025. You could also see, best vacuums for, heavy rugs. Like they were just spewing out content with no relatively, they're just going for traffic.
Right. Right.
And so we saw a huge hit on sites like that. Unfortunately, it also impacted a lot of like bloggers who had a broader topic. I had a customer that went through this. She was doing 200,000 hits a month to her blog.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Her blog was all about home DIY,
Okay.
which is a bit broad.
It is very broad.
Okay. She went from 200,000 hits a month to 20,000 hits a month in the span of a month and a half.
That's like life-changing traffic changes.
Yeah.
90% of your traffic gone in a month and a half is absolute insanity.
If she didn't have established social medias, there would be no more business for her.
Oh my God. Wow. And I think that that's, okay, so as we're talking about this, one of the things that specifically for growing in small brands, but I mean, even large brands worry about this too, that's the terrifying factor here for everybody is that, and I've heard this from acquaintances, colleagues, whatever, that have owned businesses that relied on Google, primarily SEO, but I've heard of other ones. And all of a sudden Google changes a thing and they're like, yeah, the business disappeared.
Yep.
And it doesn't happen once or twice. It happens all the time. Oh, I had a conversation with an attorney and I was talking with them about something and they mentioned how bankruptcies have gone up for businesses in the past couple of years. And I asked them why. And she said Google SEO.
I believe it.
And I was like, how big of a spike are you seeing? And she goes, I think that we're doing 3 or 4 times as many business bankruptcy cases right now as we did before. And I was like, you have got to be. And she goes, they're good businesses. They were fiscally sound and now they're not. I think that that's what's terrifying about this conversation is it's really impactful to bottom line of businesses. So when you kind of think through these changes that have gone on, again, prior to the AI conversation, are there things that you can future-proof your website or your brand from experiencing in order to make sure that when Google inevitably makes future changes, and by the way, Bing is becoming a bigger search engine.
Absolutely.
And
also has a
platforms.
massively higher conversion rate per click.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Than Google.
We're seeing that on the ad side.
On the organic side too, it's insane.
Yeah.
We'll do 100 visits from Google and get a conversion or 2 conversions. We'll do 18 from Bing and get 3 to 4 conversions. It is massively skewed.
Do you think that that's in part because of the bot traffic from Google, or do you think that that's some other factor?
It's a user thing. I think the people that are using Bing are typically people who are more decisive.
That's an interesting.
They decided to use Bing.
Right.
That's decisive.
It's something.
It's something.
Yeah.
So absolutely to all your points. Okay. In 2025, as an SEO expert and a person who sells SEO, you have to diversify and not just have SEO.
Yeah.
You have to. As much as I want to sell you an SEO package, if that's the only thing you're going to buy, I'm going to help you figure out something to go with it.
Right. I think that this is the thing that you and I have seen a number of businesses that are in that, like, anywhere under 15 million, they can have one really excellent acquisition channel in the digital space.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon there are always going to be new regulations. There's always going to be changes. And then something changes and they may be I had this happen to a friend. They had a $12 million a year business. there was a change in how their major acquisition channel worked.
Mm-hmm.
The nature of her business, she had to acquire new customers every year. Like, there was no annual subscription. It was like they signed up for a little short time period. When that acquisition channel changed, legitimately, she went from doing 12 million to doing 1.1 million.
100%.
And it was not an SEO channel. It was an ad channel.
Ooh.
But I think that's one of the things that again, part of the conversation that I love on these podcasts that you and I get to have is there's like the conversation that we're having, and there's also the meta conversation that we're having.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I think about what we do for the agency, for our company that we own together, we are running ads, we're doing organic social, we're creating content on a regular basis, we're doing our own SEO, we're doing cold outreach. Like, we're trying to find as many levers to pull in our lead generation, acquisition, marketing, branding. Like, we're trying to get everything out there as early and often as possible. And we have channels that work for us better than others.
Absolutely.
Of course. And we also, you and I speak regularly with the marketing team and the sales team. We're like, we got to find more channels. We got to find more ways. We got to get more out there. And they're like, go make more content. Jake, get back up to Dave's place. Let's go. But I think that it's one of those things where I want to point it out that as we're saying this, you and I are trying to demonstrate and practice what we're preaching here, which is all of those things are really important. And all of those things lead to new business. And we're also understanding that every platform, Google wants to make more money.
Without a doubt.
Period. And so if they can make a change that's going to fundamentally differentiate how they can make more money via search ads in particular, they're going to try and do that. So I feel like that's what's happening with SEO right now, is that they're changing it up so dramatically that they're almost making it a necessity to use Google AdWords in order to compensate for the drop in traffic.
That is definitely an SEO conspiracy theory.
It's a conspiracy theory?
To a degree, yes.
Yeah, okay.
SEO still works.
Oh, it absolutely does.
It's just, you could start a business and do a quick YouTube video Google search. Go back 10 years.
Yeah.
Any local business owner could put in 30 minutes of work a day or less.
Yeah.
And rank decently.
Sure.
Without having to hire an expert.
Sure.
Just a little bit of effort. Now, like, we're constantly, as an agency who serves many clients, constantly looking for what's the next edge, what's the next piece, all day long with all of our effort.
Right.
To find that thing that's going to move the needle 1% more.
Right.
Because it's that gritty.
Wow.
It's that tight.
Wow.
I think of what was that movie? The F1 movie, not F1, but the F1 movie where they're like, we need to, shave the fiberglass on this thing to drop or they use like a different kind of bolt on the car.
I don't know. Not as cool as you.
What was that movie? Wasn't it Christian Bale?
Fast and Furious?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a great
And they're
one.
talking about like how they shave a quarter of a second on a turn or something like that. Like, that's what we're doing in SEO right now.
That's crazy. Again, because you're right, SEO still does work. In fact, I just got our end of month report from our team, because again, we run our own SEO, like we eat our own dog food. And anyways, Darian sent me the report and he goes, hey, so we increased our rankings on 892 keywords this month, and we're ranking for an additional 47 new keywords. And I was like, good God almighty. And then he like called out some key terms that were long tail that we're now like ranking on the first page of. And that happens every month that we have that. It's really wild to me. And I think it's because obviously, we've you've championed that department, you've built it out, you've done a hell of a job with it. And I think it's also that we're staying consistent with that process, which is you want to make Jake and I just kind of lose our minds a little bit. Tell us that you need to pause your SEO services when you're a year into it and you're kicking booty and taking names, and you're like, we need to pause. And it's like, this is not going to work in your favor. It's going to be more harmful. Don't do this. It's so easy to cut the marketing advertising budget first when you're trying to do budget cuts, because it's like, well, that's a big line item.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the thing that I look at, and I'm so tired of, for the past 5 years, everybody's like, the recession is coming. The recession is coming. And I'm like, okay, if you keep saying the recession's coming for the next 20 years, we're going to have one. So like, stop.
You know who loves recessions? Really good businesses.
Yeah. The last time that there was a really good recession, we ended up making a boatload of cash. And so I just don't. Anyways, I say all that to say SEO does still work. It seems like we've got a unique approach to the SEO that we're doing, and you're illuminating some of the ways that it's working, but it can't be your only channel as well.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And in fact, SEO benefits from every channel you add to it.
Right. So like, how much running AdWords, I know helps. How much does running, social media advertising, DSP advertising, even doing organic social or shooting content like this, what are some of the ways that just kind of benefits the overall game?
Trying to remember the last numbers, but it's something like 80 billion searches a day.
Good Lord.
On Google. 46% of those searches include a brand term.
Wow.
So anywhere you get your name out there is magic.
Yeah. Okay.
It's magic. So, and it can be, I've encouraged some clients who are in crowded e-commerce spaces that have, I don't want to call them generic products because that's not fair, but there's products like their products, and their product is named something like bronze 4-inch, whatever. Okay.
Right.
I've encouraged them to give those names because now the product becomes a unique brand named product.
So just by making a positioning decision of saying, like, instead of calling this the, sock, the sock with water wicking material, you call it the water wick 2000.
Exactly. I'll give you a personal example. Before we merged the companies,
right?
My brand name was Wizard Marketing. Leaned heavily into that branding.
Yep.
And we did not name our packages something boring.
Right.
Our baseline SEO package is called SEO Magic.
Yes. Love that.
And so we ranked for a lot of really interesting and fun terms around that. Like magic marketing, we were ranked number 1 for that search term for a long time.
Wow.
So it's one of those things where everything else you do gives SEO more ammo.
Yeah.
Like we can just fire.
Okay.
So would you rather us have a gun with 7 bullets in the clip or a drum barrel?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So have we covered all the pre-AI things? Because I don't want to miss those. They're really important. I know that when we get into the AI conversation, it's going to be like, whoa.
Yeah, I think that's a good primer. There's obviously been some smaller pieces here or there that have changed over time, but that's the biggest change from what I would call traditional SEO, what we've known for the last many years, to what we're now in is this semantic or topically based SEO marketplace.
Got it. Okay. So Now let's open Pandora's box.
Enter Sam Altman.
The nature of how people are searching for information, for resources, has fundamentally changed.
Yes.
Because of AI.
Yes and no.
Okay. Say more.
The no piece of it is that the way that we search has fundamentally changed because we have people who've had search for so long that they use it in a different way than when it was built.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we've evolved in the way that we're using search.
Yeah, I've said this before. You know someone who is a good Googler.
I'm that guy for my family. Like, my wife always tells me she will look and look and look and look, and she's brilliant in many ways that I am not. This is no shade. And she's like, she cannot find something on Google, and she'll eventually come to me after she's been looking for a while, and she'll be like, babe, where can I find that thing, whatever it is, fill in the blank. And I like type it in and I have it in 2 seconds.
Yep.
And she's like, damn you. And I'm like, look, I can't do a lot of the things that you do. You're a master of what you do. And I do think that is a thing, though, that some people intuitively get. I know enough about SEO to be dangerous. And so I get how to use search terms in order to find what I'm looking for.
You know how to manipulate the output.
Totally.
And you're like, what, 50?
Thank you. Yep. Yeah, I am. Thank you.
So think about all of these people who are now adults,
right,
that have had Google since they were born.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that. Like, it did freak me out. The NBA draft was a couple nights ago, and the number 1 draft pick out of Duke was born after I graduated high school. And I just haven't been paying attention because it's happened before too. But now it's really disturbing that I started looking through the list of people and I'm like, oh my God, all of these people were born after I graduated high school. This is not and it makes sense. They're all like 18 to 22 and I am decidedly much older than that. But it's to your point, it's not just digital natives. You and I are millennials, right? And so we grew into this technological advance. It wasn't like we were born with a really robust search engine that we had at our fingertips. So it is a different sort of situation that when you grow up with that, because I look at technology as though it is the evolution of humanity, right? It's not our physical bodies that are really changing. It's actually that we're creating technology that's giving us just light years advanced in, a decade. I've never thought about it like that, though, that these people are so intrinsically in tune because they've only ever known this.
And not just have they always had Google search, they've always had smartphones and iPads.
Yeah.
So I watch my 5-year-old whiz around on the iPad, like moving screens. He knows how to put it in the corner so he can do 2 things at once. If you asked anyone over the age of 40 to do that, it's going to take them 10 times longer than him.
Totally.
So there is a society has moved in its skill set. Part of SEO that I think is important, which lends itself very nicely into the semantic. But to your point,
yeah,
AI is fundamentally changing how we search. It's also fundamentally changing, and this is the bigger part, how the result is gained. How the result you ultimately see is produced.
What is that? I think I know what that means, but what does that mean?
So we have some very, very specific information on this.
Okay.
Google, and let's leave AI, LLM platforms out for a second, because yes, there is search happening on those. Let's talk specifically Google, because they are that's SEO to everyone's brain, right? So Google about 2 years ago, came out with AI overviews.
Okay.
AI overviews are essentially...
Was it that long ago, really?
Yeah.
God, it feels like it was just yesterday. Okay.
It was a phased rollout,
Okay.
but they are basically taking the understanding of your input
Mm-hmm.
and producing an AI search result with the answers pulled from the data that Google uses in their ranking data. Okay. The way that they do this is so different from how search has been produced traditionally, in the fact that once you put in that search, so let's say that I'm looking for, we've been talking about landscapers.
Yep.
Okay. Let's say, what are the best landscapers in Portland, Oregon?
Sure.
That's my search. Okay. In the past, Google's going to take that phrase.
Yep.
It might select pieces out of it and do some math on who ranks for those keywords, and then show you the 10 blue links. AI overviews, on the other hand, is going to do a couple of extra steps.
Okay.
So the first thing it's going to do is going to take your search, and it's going to try to quantitate what you're trying to get out of it.
Right.
Okay. So it's going to say, are they looking for a list? Are they looking for a recommendation? Are they looking for, a company that does specifically aerating? Like, they're going to ask some questions about your search to try and figure out why are they doing this.
Right.
And they're going to pull all the results in of their supplemental searches.
Okay.
So now we have 5 searches instead of 1.
Mm.
Then it's going to take your user data and it's going to throw that into the mix. It's going to say, have they left reviews on any other landscaping companies before?
Mm-hmm.
What have they been searching recently about landscaping? Is it tree trimming? Is it lawn care? Is it they want to build a patio? Let's figure out what their journey's been up to this point.
Yeah.
Okay? And then it's going to mush all of that data together and run in a traditional LLM, ChatGPT kind of output, utilizing all that data to produce its final output.
Okay. Got it.
So it's much more elegant, much more broad,
Mm-hmm.
much more complex.
Okay.
And the problem, the inherent problem with AI overviews, is that they fundamentally discourage you from clicking on a link.
Right.
So right now, a lot of SEOs are posting pictures of their alligators.
They're alligators?
Yes.
What do you mean?
So an alligator is a term in the SEO industry where when you pull up your search console, which is where you can check your search results as a website.
Sure.
An alligator is when your impressions goes up, but your clicks go down. So it creates an alligator.
Got it.
So people have been posting their alligators because they're getting more SEO. They're showing up in more searches. They're getting more impressions. Wow. They're ranking higher.
But the clicks are down.
But the clicks continue to drop because Google is literally stealing them from you.
And this goes back to that whole bit earlier about having a single channel that's driving most of your business is scary.
Absolutely. At our agency, we have a very brutal alligator right now.
Yeah.
We have a company that did SEO for many years on their own, and they brought us in to kind of take it to the next level. And we've been doing a great job. But a lot of their search power is behind informational style keywords.
Right.
What do I do when I get a DUI?
Got it.
And Google's just going to go, yoink, that's mine. And so we're watching this alligator just be produced where it's like, yes, Google loves our content. And they keep telling us, you're ranked higher. You're getting more impressions. But your clicks, not so much.
Yeah. As we kind of like move into AI is only going to get bigger and bigger and more dynamic.
Well, let me comment on that.
Okay.
So AI overviews are step 1.
Okay, what's step 2?
Google has already announced, I actually just got into the beta of it, of AI mode.
Whoa.
So AI mode is Google, but like ChatGPT.
Okay.
So there are going to be no blue links, but it's using
Whoa.
all the data
Okay.
from their massive collection of websites. And the interesting thing about it, and I'm going to butcher his name, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, went on Diary of a CEO podcast.
Love that one, by the way.
Or was it Lex Friedman? One of the two. He went on one of the two.
Yeah.
They're kind of the same.
Both are great.
Both are great. They're kind of the same.
They're kind of. They even have like a similar like
Set,
lighting.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Lex is on the left.
That's really it. That's the only difference. You're right.
But he went on there and the host just straight up asked him, like, what's the future of it? And Pichai said, eventually we will replace traditional search with AI mode fully. As the features crystallize and they're being successful, we're going to move them into the traditional search piece until they've fully replaced it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the dangerous question.
Yeah, I love dangerous questions.
I actually don't know the answer to.
Hey.
Sincerely. Does that mean, as we move towards that, I'm thinking about how ChatGPT works in search right now. A lot of times when I'm interacting with ChatGPT, it will pull in that data.
Mm-hmm.
It will show like little icons for different places that it's pulling that information from at the bottom after it's pulled the data. I think that maybe every 100 ChatGPT queries that I do, I will click on a link.
Sure.
So, which is foundationally the opposite of how I would do with a Google search historically.
You would click on multiple links.
Absolutely. If I had a search, there would be times, and there's still times when I'm doing a Google search where I will go through 10, 12 pages. I'll click on, I don't know, a dozen, 18 links, and I'm engaging with that content very differently. Is the moving forward, because it sounds like so much of this is going to be, we got this information from this source, and here's the name of the source. Is SEO moving forward kind of this idea that like the benefit is going to be that you're still going to get some name recognition from AI, maybe search, that you're going to have like people that just know about you because you're being referenced in the footer? Like, is that kind of the game moving forward?
I think when it comes to AI SEO in specific,
okay,
we really, really, really have to understand that search isn't a full funnel marketing play anymore.
Right.
It's trending out of the middle of the funnel. Right. We're pushing, AI searches are going to the top of the funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And traditional searches are going to push to the bottom of the funnel.
Yes.
And so we're seeing this separation, this gap where it was like SEO was good at every step of the journey.
Right.
And now we're getting a massive split. There's a gap in the middle that you need help filling in.
Okay.
And so we have to think about it that way.
Yeah.
So when it comes to AI searches, that's a brand play.
Right.
And if you get a click, great.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different if you're in e-commerce.
Okay.
E-commerce has a little bit more leniency with this because ChatGPT and Google can show products.
Facts. That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And there's no AI overview for a product. It's kind of hard to do.
Right. If I'm searching for, all organic, handmade chocolate bars.
Sure.
Google and or ChatGPT would go, Dave wants to buy something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit more leniency in that space in particular.
Okay.
But if you are a local business in high competition, where there's lots of choices like HVAC, like legal, like accounting, like financial advisorship, like restaurants, all of these are the people who are going to get hurt the most.
And that's a huge number of businesses, man. Like insane. And so one of the things that, I know that Google has mentioned, and this was both depressing and encouraging at the same time, was that Google said they intend to have ads show up in some of their AI results over time, which don't die, which means that they're going to, again, this is how at this point, this is just, you and I have been in this space for so long. The way that you and I interpret everything that these platforms do is that they're trying to make more money. So is that going to be a move, you think, moving forward, where it's like, yes, you're going to have SEO because you want the brand, you want to put it out there. And if you do have a local lawn care service, HVAC, roofing company, you're still going to want to do SEO, because any one of those AI platforms, if you say, hey, chat, I need a lawn care service in Portland, it's going to give you the top 5. Here are the best top 5, and then whatever. So you still want to work with that, but it seems like it's outside of those kinds of very specific searches, you're not going to be there. Is that fair?
I would say, yeah, that's probably pretty fair.
Okay.
The volume, this is what's getting hit, the volume.
Do you think that's going to lead to higher intent clicks, though? Like, we're going to have less traffic, but more
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to see a much higher conversion rate develop on websites.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, like, because who cares if I had 100,000 people come to, again, portlandlawncare.com or whatever, and 5 of them converted, but then I go from 100,000 to 1,000 and I get 5 conversions. Do I care? I don't care. As long as I'm getting the same number of conversions.
It freaks people out because big number good.
Well, we are simple beings. I hear you.
Transactional searches will always be transactional searches.
Okay.
That is the nice thing about it, is that the stuff that's getting really brutalized right now is the informational and the navigational searches. The commercial and the transactional, the brand related and the purchase intent, those searches are still going to result in traffic.
Right.
So just a quick aside, one thing that I think is hilarious is Google Ads isn't Google's only monetary play.
Right.
They have AdSense Network.
Totally.
If you don't know what AdSense Network is, it's basically like you go to Google and say, I get 10,000 visits a month. You can put ads on my site and show them, and we both get paid.
Right.
So if Google takes away the clicks that they're sending to these people's sites, how does AdSense make money?
Here's what's crazy. The cost per impression for an AdSense or like a display ad on Google is historically infinitely cheaper than a search term ad. So I think that they looked at this and they said, we don't care. Because we're charging, $8 per 1,000 impressions for a display ad, and we're charging $25 per 1,000 impressions for a search ad. We'll take that, And so I think that they, wise, unwise, helpful, unhelpful, I'll let you determine that for yourself. I think that they're looking at it from a business sense, and they're going, yeah, we're going to reduce all this traffic to all these sites that we have essentially established through our own SEO algorithm to make a boatload of money off of. And they're going to make triple, quadruple, 5x the money, because when you have people that are fighting for an increasingly smaller set of ads placement,
Mm-hmm.
it also, the cost goes through the roof. So, for me, one of my old clients was a roofing company in DFW. There are 5,000 roofing companies in DFW. They wanted to advertise on Google, and they said, well, what do we need to spend? And we had software back then that could tell us that stuff, and we certainly have it now at the agency, but we looked it up, man, and it was, on average, the cost was $35 per click.
Yep.
Because there's so much competition. And so we just had to go back to the client and say, look, unless you're going to spend $40,000 a month, we don't recommend doing this.
Yeah.
And they were just like, good God, $40,000 a month? We thought that we were going to spend like $6,000. And we were like, no. So it's I think that it's going to be challenging to get that new customer coming in through AdWords for a number of brands, and you're going to have to find new ways to reach that audience.
Yeah, I want to put a glimmer of light at the end of this dark tunnel, because
we've been so hopeful this whole podcast. I don't know what you're talking about.
Search is diversifying more than it ever has in the last 10 years.
Why? Okay, that's true. Why is that light at the end of the tunnel?
Because Google's not the only game. And ChatGPT is not the only game. Do you know what the 6th largest search engine on the planet is, Dave?
I don't.
It's Pinterest.
I believe that, actually, knowing how much time my wife spends on Pinterest and how many items we purchase because of her pin boards.
Absolutely. And so there are other places, other ways for you to go and get eyeballs and click-throughs and engagement and build your brand through a search model that aren't exclusively Google or ChatGPT.
When you think about the diversification of search, and that you're saying, hey, that's a good thing. Why is that a good thing? Is it just because they don't have the monopoly on it anymore? I mean, legally, they've been told they had a monopoly on search for a variety of reasons, and that's being taken away in various forms. But there's a difference in behavior by users also. So why is it helpful that Google's not going to be just such a mammoth in this space, and that there's going to be more diversification?
It's going to give people different options to search where they like to be. So, for example, I'm on TikTok, about 100,000 followers. Last month, on the videos that I posted in the month, I did maybe 100,000 views.
Okay.
My total account views for the month are 1.5 million.
Wow.
Because people are going to TikTok, searching things that I have produced specifically to SEO them within TikTok search so that I show up, so that I can get those eyeballs. Months and even years. I get hits on videos that I posted 3 years ago.
Good grief, man.
Because of TikTok search.
Right.
So there are other avenues. Another fun fact, just this week, Instagram announced that they are going to allow all of the Instagram Reels to be transcribed and indexed into Google search. So now your Google search result can result in an Instagram Reel.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And what that's going to do is making a blog, making a website, very accessible to people now. Very few people are going to contribute videos.
Yep.
And so it's a what do they call it? A blue pond inside of a bloody ocean. So SEO as a practice has been very linear and very one center focus for a long time. And with the changes to the Google algorithm, as well as the AI changes, and the growth of search on social and other platforms, we are seeing the most broadening of this aspect of marketing
Mm-hmm.
in its history. And it's exciting and it's terrifying because we knew what we were doing.
Yep.
We knew the recipe.
Right.
We've been making the same single pizza for 20 years.
Yeah.
And now we have to make cheeseburgers and we have to make hot dogs and we have to make ravioli and we have to make, chicken tikka masala. Like, we're all over the place now. And so when you think of SEO and you're like, is SEO dying? Is SEO dying? No, but yes, it's a phoenix.
Sure.
What you knew it as, what it was, it is not anymore. It is something brand new and potentially exciting. It's opening up that opportunity again where it's not as crowded in these new spaces and these new ways. And I, for one, I'm all in for it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's my take.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, this has been a fun conversation, brother. I appreciate you lending your knowledge base to what feels like a very quickly changing space, and you've illuminated how it is. If you like this kind of content and you want to find more, hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube, wherever you're at. And if you want more content like this, follow us on social media, Vox and Coin. We're everywhere that you want to be. You can also follow Jake at The Wizard Marketing. He has a huge TikTok following, as he already mentioned. You can also follow me at RealDVal on any of those platforms and Dave Valentine on LinkedIn. Jake, it's good chatting with you, brother. This has been fun.
Yeah, I'll SEO you later.
So bad.